Hey everybody, welcome to the nightly vid. We're going to talk about what had occurred and what is setting up. This is the Strat attack, and let's get started. So we did see a 2-2 on a Tuesday in the market, and you'll see Q's 2-2 on a Tuesday gives you the rev strat magnitude down in here, so they finished that off. Could still go outside week. We'll see. Month is still slightly green and 2 up, so we're conflicted. Dow Jones, you're going to see 2 up and red back into a 3. So we talked about in the weekend vid. If we come back into that, we'd like to know. And you will see they did 2-2. So, at best, we have the inside 2-day pattern to play off of, but no daily signals for tomorrow. We'll see if that follows through or not. IDBM, shooter on the day to confirm or negate the reversals we saw in the Dow, the SPY, and the Qs. And that being said, if we go to SPY, you'll see the 2-2 on the day. Just ran out of time to hit its magnitude, so we'll see if they follow it up tomorrow. And that being said, what we will see is probably an inside 4-hour into tomorrow, so we'll see in the overnight session what we can get there. This morning, or actually inside 12-hour, but this morning you can see that rev strat 12-hour. That's something that Ace has been playing on the indexes, which is pretty neat. And you'll see Qs and SPY both rev strat of the 12-hour today, which is super cool to see. That being said, though, what do we do? Well, on the weekend vid, we had a lot of staples and some materials. Materials we didn't get much to do today. Is some different holdings that I did not have on my list, so we didn't touch them. But that being said, what we did do is in the staples, you'll see they bought on Monday, came back Tuesday, so that's on the strat attack. Likely we get the inside bar tomorrow unless it 2-2s, but it's nowhere near doing either, so we'll be aware of that potential inside day. But on the 3-2-2 list, we had Monster, and you'll see the inside day Monster confirm the staples. And if we go to the rest of the staples, you can see Coke went up on Monday. If you go to MKC, you'll see they went up on Monday and then confirmed Tuesday and had a nice rally. Target was not staples, but it was kind of part of that. And then the other 3-2-2s, we saw CHD went up on Monday, followed through, and Garmin been a little bit weaker. Was inside most of the day and then kind of poked up in the afternoon. That being said, though, we saw all the staples go up Monday, so we went after Monster on the inside bar. And you can see it was one of the 2 things we just had as actionable signals this morning, and that was a pretty good one. And then on the gap list, we went after J&J because all the healthcare is gapped down, and then this one. You see it was a 3-2-2-5er, but what we played was the 2-2-5er and the gap down 3-2-2 right in there. And then we mentioned the 3-2-10ers here. And you'll see this 3-3-3-2, boom, expansion. 15ers, 3-2 as well. And all those were entries or adds into this. And the 2-2 in here, 15er to exit. And then they chopped them up the rest of the day. So it was pretty cool in there. We saw Humana gap down and have some issues. We'll see, if it falls through or not. Could rev strat the week. If we go to UNH, this was the one that had the news today, and it gaps down and goes doji with its earnings. So we will see if anything comes of that, and we'll keep it on the gap list, UNH. If we go to the continuation gapper names, HII did go 3 on the day today. So it poked down, poked up, and then came back in a second time. You can see in the afternoon. We'll see what happens with that tomorrow. I have it from last week, so I'd prefer it continue, but we will see. AI, we saw some 3 outside bar profit taking reversal today. So that was from last week, and we'll just have to be aware of that for any of the swingers in there on the month. It's coming back in, so we take profit and leave runners. If we go to A Lab on the gap list, we also see that one stopping some guys out. So we got the gap in here. Are they going to fill that, or are we just going to triangle out and then start going back to the upside? So we got some gapper stuff we'll be watching. And then Oklo we traded today. This is a really cool one. So you can see the inside week, and this is coming from the observation macro video. And we just saw it moving this morning when we were going through our observation list. You'll see it had the 3 and then gap up this morning. So it was on the gapper list. And this morning we had this, the 3-1-2 reversal, and then boom, blast off. And this was a 400%er on the 12.5 calls, of which we got at the 3-2-60 reversal when we mentioned that in the morning here, 10:58. So really cool stuff and really nice move. We'll see if that follows through or not. You can't see the rev strat weak, so they went outside, but it could get bigger above 1-1-1-5. So you got some stuff like that moving. That being said, as far as the strat attack's concerned, give me one sec. So I just wanted to show off how simple things can be with AI now. So all I did was ask the AI to take the data from the SAT website. So if we scan and we're doing the strat attack, for example, you can scan for 2 up, which would be a 2 up day, bullish continuity. and just ATR of 3. And you'll see most of these are going to be 2 up, or 1 2 up, which are going to be things that would be on the strat attack, 1 2 up, or 2 up 2 up, or 2 down 2 up, just any of that stuff that's 2 up full time frame continuity on a Tuesday. And we can copy that list, and then I can paste it into the program, and then we can put that list against the same type of list, except we can use the quarter signal in force, and we can look for things that also have bullish continuity, or we can leave that filter off. It doesn't quite matter. And we can filter and say, well, are there any of those that fall into that category? And it looks like right now we don't have that many of them. If we go to month, we can do the same thing, filter, enforce yes, and here they are. So I can copy this list, throw that in here, and then find common tickers, and you'll see target, ANF, coin, W, and MLM. So target, ANF, coin, target. So you can see 2 up target. This is also on the weekend vid with natural buyers. So you got the month in force, strat attack, and target. You got ANF. It has the inside month up with magnitude left. It's a momentum hammer week. 2 up to start the week. Good. And then coin. It is a little bit of a doji today. We'll keep that in mind, but you will see coin has the 2-2 reversal month to the upside. I already made that nice low in there too. If we go to the quarter, it's still inside quarter. So I got the daily short-term exhaustion we'll be aware of, but we do know Bitcoin's moving, which we can go to Bitcoin. You'll see the same thing in there. So we can have that on there if we'd like. And then W should not be on the list. Does have the month in force, does have 2 up. Not quite what I'm looking for with the exhaustion wick. And that's about it as far as what's in there. So we'll have those going into the strat attack. That being said, signals today, we will see IDBM with a little bit of a shooter day after some triangle out. If we go and look up and left, you can see the slight higher high. So here's your triangle out, and then there's your shooter signal. So below that, we would like to know about that on IWM. If we go to Apple, it's going to look very similar, and that's part of the reason it looks like that. You'll see a slight higher high, and then shooter day to try and reclaim all these highs in here. So everyone's got their stops against that, blow them out. Maybe they bring them back. We'll see. If we go to scanner sites, get the stuff up in here. We can look and see ATR 3 inside days. What do we got? So it looks like we got a ton of tech stocks going inside after last week's stuff. The AZO will be an inside 131. Inside month still. CAT be an inside day. Potentially could trigger these lows over here, which would cause a 3-2 reversal week at all-time highs. Does have the month red at this point. It's just a little bit conflicted there. We go to DPZ. Double inside day. Could trigger a 2-2 week. And I believe that'd be going for the 2-2 Rev Strat month, Domino's Pizza. We go to GNRC. Industrials, stuck on the week for now. Coming from exhaustion risk though, so it's a maybe or an J. Stuck on the week for now. Actually, it could go 2-1-2 and go Rev Strat outside week. Net. Thank you, PanW. And I want signals to trigger signals. PanW, you got the double inside day after the big rally last week. So either confirm or negate that. Team. Big rally month and up inside day after doing so. And if we draw right to left, something like this. So top of the broadening formation. I'm not against throwing that one in there. If we go to, yep, that's all of them. So inside day is kind of lackluster. It's not, there's some with good movement in there that we can have on, like PanW, Team, Domino's Pizza. You'll get movement, but nothing that sticks out to me too much. If we go to shooters on the day, of which I imagine we might have a good few. Yeah, 146 shooters to potentially confirm the day is down tomorrow. So you have to filter that either by sector or ATR. I'm going to start by filtering index. We got materials, utilities, discretionary, and healthcare. So materials would be a 322. That'd be an issue. Utilities, shooter, but it's a little bit stronger this week. XLY, discretionary, shooter from short-term exhaustion. So the slight poke up and then back in the range. That could be a problem in there, and that's mostly things like your Teslas, your Amazon. So you got Tesla, shooter, counter, hammer after the gap down, and it could take the month down. So Tesla, you could have some issues there. You got Amazon. It's actually a RevStrat hammer if things were to firm up, so Amazon looks a little better on the upside. And if we go to healthcare's, you will see the momentum shooter, which we'll also see a little bit of that in Humana. Really, it's going to be more up to UNH, which you can see is that big gapper today. What we will see today that we are not going to see on the lists here, but we will see a lot of threes in the banks. So Citigroup, and we'll actually get XLF on the shooters down in here. But we'll see Citigroup, big ol' outside bar from the top of the daily tries. So does that start coming back through the previous range is our question, because he could take out a lot worse or a lot more guys. We go to Goldman Sachs, did go through but recovers a bit. We go to Bank of America, closer to a 2-2 reversal, and you can see they're not back into the try yet, so there's a chance that still can keep going. SCHW, gap up, closer to a 2-2 back down, nowhere near taking the gap out though. If we go to Morgan Stanley, closer to a 2-2 back down, and it's got some pretty interesting broadening formation in here. Something like that. You could draw it off these highs here, but closer to 2-2s on there, and we will keep an eye on it. Obviously, financials have been moving, do have the months going up and still green, so they could be corrective and set up 2-2-2s. I'm fine with that, but a lot of things just setting closer to 2s down tomorrow. That being said, since we got 4 sectors, we're just going to look at the 3-2-2s to filter out the best shooters, hopefully. BBWI. Click go rep strat week for the small account guys with 3-2-2 day. BIIB. So much. Does have a 3-2-2, and it's a decent mover. CPT in the real estates. So notice this already has the month going down. Triangles out on the week, sets up the 3-1-3-1-3-2-2. So that could be, some issues for some guys in there. And we will do the strat attack on the bearish side. Don't worry about that. I want to get the 3-2-2s in here. CPT, eBay. This will be discretionary as well. It has been on a tear, so it's not the best short in the world. If we're looking at these bigger time frames, you'll see on the year. At best, it's coming from yearly exhaustion risk, so you'd be able to get, some type of movement off of that. Maybe you can take out the outside week down in here. It's just still not the best, though. We got EXR in the real estate sector. You'll see that as well. If we go to MAA real estate sector, it's going to be there as well. PSA real estate sector, it's going to be there as well. So I see a trend here, right? Looking at the 2 up in red list to see if we're missing anything in here. KX. If that worked, it'd rev strat the week, but got, yeah, at best you got that short-term exhaustion up at all-time high, or long-term exhaustion all-time highs. FedEx in the real estates, that would be 322 pivot machine gun. I know UPS is going to have a rev strat, so we can have shooter. We can put UPS on there. We go to IQV, you got more 322s, so you're going to have a good amount of 322s tomorrow. Wow. All right, I think that covers it on the downside. 322's bullish. I don't think we're going to have many. Yeah, no 2 down in greens. No hammers, so not too much to talk about there. On the rev strat side of things, we're going to have only a few shooter rev strats, Unity being one of those. So the 3-1-2-2 for the small account boys and girls. You know, the slight higher highs, the slight lower lows. So below that, down there, you get 5%. And that would give you the rev strat 313 Motor City Madhouse on the week. If we go to Alta, Alta's going to have the rev strat as well, even after the buy that occurred, I believe, was it Berkshire? It was a very small position, but not having a good time there for them. Financial services, TROW, having some issues potentially with the rev strat 122 PMG. I think that covers most of that. So we got some rev strats in there, more notably Unity, and we will see. That being said, on the Strat Attack downside, we're going to have a lot of semis because you had the 2-2 on a Tuesday, pivot machine gun. You can see they really got after it. We go in here. What we mentioned this morning was the measured move. So if we missed any of this stuff, you could hit it in here to try and get some positions. Now, it was occurring on news, so we'll see with the story stocks and whatnot. We've gone outside week, so they did what they're supposed to. Do they recover that, or do we stay outside week and keep bringing them back in? And that's where I imagine a lot of the downside stuff's going to be occurring. But we can look at weeklies, not weeklies. We can look at days in force to the downside, 2 down with bearish full time frame continuity, and then confirm the lists against each other. So if I copy all the things 2 down day today with bearish continuity, we will see. Here's the list. And then we can look to all of the bearish continuity on the weaker month in force. Not too much in here that is in force. We can also look at the failed 2s though. Month, we can go 2 up, but bearish continuity on the month. We got more of those, which is going to be a lot of the chips. And hopefully that works. I'm not sure if it will. So here it is. And there's obviously going to be a lot of stuff here, so we're going to filter it manually. Go to LYB. You'll see the inside month down, potential pivot machine gun to have some issues in here. And could go outside year as well. So inside month down, LYB, and that would be on the Strat Attack on the downside. 2 down to start the week. If we go to PDD, you can see in the Chiners, inside week down, 2 down to start the week, rev stratting the month. So it's on the monthly list with the 3-1-2 up in the inside week over the weekend vid, and now comes back in potential rev strat. So PDD, potential 1-3 on the month. Filter out some of the ones just I don't personally want. Baba in the China names does start bringing them back in a little bit this week with some reversals. 3-2 down week. It's nowhere near going outside month though. We'll see if that's a trend or not. FSLR having some issues back through the range. 322 on the month below 201. Could go 130 if they start pivot machine gunning these guys. And that is going to be on your Strat Attack list. And what we'll notice on the Strat Attack here, this is not 2 down, but inside red and then 2 down, which takes a month down. So it can still be a part of what we are looking at here. You get a bite. We're going to also see that one coming, bringing it back in on the new monthly continuity, and you can see some problems there. K-Lack with the big old 3 on the day. That looks like a problem, right? You will see potentially a 1-3 on the month, which could still spell issues because a 3 is a reversal, and it's also continuation if it takes this out, 69642, and keeps going. So we can keep K-Lack on there. If we go to AMD, this was on Sarah's list. As you can see, it was double inside day down this morning and got the pukage on and took the weak magnitude and it's closed down there. So still good. Could have some problems. So you have this broadening formation, poke up, poke down, attempted to poke up, too weak to take these guys out. So this could be the point right here where AMD may not see these prices for a while. Around 170-ish up in these highs, 172 through 175. Around there, 170 to 175. Maybe we don't see that for a while because they could be coming all the way back through these guys. And it reminds me of things like MU, which we talked about with the big 2-2 shooter months coming in. And you can see it's still down there, so you can stay short on that stuff. And, we're just kind of waiting for that to get going again. And you'll see on like the yearly charts next year at the Rev Strats, we're going to have some losers in the chips, I imagine. That being said, we'll see Netflix a little bit weaker, but nothing to talk or write home about. NRG, nothing to write home about. XPEV, that's going back to 0 after the China pump. Same with Neo. So we're the small account guys and gals, or the people who like to play in the garbage. CF, that could just be a good one to be watching for the reclaim back through previous range. You see it poke down, poke up, inside, back down. Might go a lot lower. But that is about it. So on the Strat Attack, you're going to have about 3 names up, 3 names down of focus. Actually, 4 names down of focus. And then we'll have a lot of shooter days into tomorrow, a lot of 322s, specifically real estates. Then we'll see if the 3-2s and the financials keep on moving. And, what happens with the chips, since we have some stories going on there, obviously some issues. And these tries on the chips, if we look right to left, you got some bigger broadening formations in here than we have had previously. So like what we like to say is, do we perfectly nail the top if you didn't get the 2-2 on a Tuesday? No, we didn't, right? But if it's going from here to here, I don't really care, right? This is not that much to miss out on. It's just a matter of finding ways into there if they're going to keep puking. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But that's all I've got for everybody tonight here. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning with those in stat trading. And if you're not, see you guys in tomorrow night's Nightly Vid.